Good morning. This is day 65 and we're just headed off past the cookie lady here. Today is another 18-mile day, but the terrain looks super nice. I don't think I've ever had this flat of, and it's not even flat, but compared to what I've done, it's flat. It's not raining out. It's supposed to be nice out. It's about 18 degrees Celsius, which I think is in like the mid 60s. It's just really damp out here because it rained a lot yesterday. So everything is just wet and it's windy, so it feels a little cool. But it should be a good day today. And I was loving this lovely trail here, but that's the trail I actually need to go into. So we're gonna get started with the day. The good outlook, got a full belly, and straight into the mud, because that's how we roll. But it'll be a good day. Just show you a little bit of the trail here. It's actually quite open. I guess they're calling it the harvest forest area. Just kind of managing it a bit for tree disease, etc. There was a little sign back there that was talking about how they do it and why they do it. So, yeah, it's weird to see sort of harvesting this close to the trail. I've seen it before, but it's usually just at the border of it, and it's not pretty. It really is a green mohawk that runs down the Appalachian, because they will harvest everything on either side of the protected forest area. But to see it actually on it, it's kind of different. Because there's definitely some big old trees that's been part of these forests lately, and I've rather enjoyed them. They're beautiful trees, but they get diseases too, just like everywhere else. Ooh, swampy. Okay. And back into the dark green tunnel. Hey, little guy. Seen lots of these guys today. But this one's yellow. They're usually orange. He's not impressed with me, so I'll leave him be. Okay. This is my third river crossing today. They've all been pretty much just little creeks. This is probably the biggest one, which, as you can see, really isn't that big. So no worries about getting the feet wet beyond what they were when I put my shoes on this morning, because all that rain last night, they most certainly did not dry. So right now they're just kind of soaking and slowly drying with my feet, but you know, you end up the day with pruny feet, and nobody likes pruny feet. All right, let's get going, because I think we're about 5 miles in this morning. Got lots of time to go. Although it is nice to see the sun peek out on occasion. Just to show you what I'm talking about, all the salamanders. There's one little guy right there. And a few feet away, here's another little guy right there. They're just out in force today. It's a good salamander day. Okay, well there's the next stream crossing. Guess I'm getting them all done first thing in the morning. I think that I did look up on the app this morning that there were a lot of water on this trail today, so I didn't have to pack a lot because, well, because there was lots. But it's a nice gentle flowing stream. I don't need any water, so I'm not gonna bother cameling up here. Okay, so we're about 8.5 miles in, just past Beckett Road off of Beckett Mountain, which was that other little picture. There wasn't much of a hilltop. I guess that sign was really all there was up there. Looked like some good stealth camping sites up there, which you definitely see a lot more of because the terrain's a lot flatter. Much easier to do on nice rolling hills than steep cliffs. But trail's been good. Not too many no-bows today. Like a half a dozen. Still continue to see salamanders. I think I've stopped counting after 50. There's just too many of them. So today is just a salamander day. The sun's finally come out. The breeze is going. It's a beautiful day for hiking in Massachusetts. All right, 10 more miles, actually probably more like 9.5 more miles to go. All right, ooh, a little water crossing. Okay, thought I'd just share this aspect of hiking that you kind of forget about. You think you're in the woods, you hear all these lovely little bird sounds and the wind, but then you get close to an area by a highway, and all you hear are the trucks and the cars and transports going by. It definitely changes the dynamics of your walk. Although usually when you hear a highway, it means you're getting close to food, so not necessarily a bad thing. It just, I'm planning to go right through this highway, so I'm curious to see how they get us across this highway because it's kind of large. I guess we'll find out. Okay, so we're coming out to Route 20 in Massachusetts, and you can hear the highway, hear how busy it is, and I'm wondering how we cross it. We make a run for it. Okay, actually I know there's not too bad actually. Still busy, but it's a single lane, so it's not too bad. And yeah, back in the bush we go. Well, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Things usually aren't. Anticipation tends to be worse than the actual thing, but it sounded like a really busy highway from up top there. But to be fair, I'm coming up across another highway very shortly, so maybe it's just the two of them mixing together. All right, well, let's get to the next highway. Okay, so that is the other busy highway. So that is what I was hearing. And thankfully there's no walking across that because, well, that's just darn dangerous. So instead they give us a lovely little bridge up top. to walk across. And, well, two of them, because obviously one direction of the highway and then the other direction of the highway, and then up to Goose Pond. Because, woo! She is a busy highway. The sun is definitely out. I've been told Goose Pond is a place to go swimming. So we'll see if that's what we end up doing or not. Although right now that breeze is just so lovely. But we'll see. One more of those bridges to cross and off we go. Okay, this is Upper Goose Pond. It's quite a windy day. The water's definitely cool. This is quite a swimming spot, I've been told. Although it is a little on the chilly side, so I don't think I'll be going swimming today. But I can definitely see why you would want to. You're not allowed to camp down in this area, which they're very particular on that, I guess. They've had a lot of issues down here, so you have to go to the shelter and tent up there, because that's where the camping and the fires are allowed. In here it's just well, apparently someone's changed that sign, but no camping, because you could see easily how people would be tempted to camp and how very crowded this would get. And I'm sure the through campers understand stealth camping, but a lot of day hikers don't carry the same kind of principles in and out, so it could get quite destroyed very quickly, and it's such a pretty area. Yeah, you want to maintain it. Alrighty. Anyway, let's get going. Okay, so we're just coming up to the 18-mile marker. We've had some lovely trail magic from a retired vet at mile 17, so caffeinated, well, it's not caffeinated, but I had plenty of sugar.
All the sugar
and food, so we're probably going to push on a little bit further to mile 23, I think. Alrighty. A little swampy area, but get a lovely boardwalk to walk on. It's a nice day. So now we're past the 18-mile I had planned. Part of the reason we're pushing a little further today is because we have all the sugar, but two, it does kind of look like a roller coaster, is tomorrow is supposed to rain again, so I'd rather do the bigger miles on the lovely days and then shorter miles on the shorter days, because I think tomorrow one of our trail family people, Doolittle, has a hotel room booked in Sheffield, I think, so I might get a chance to go there and be warm and dry and shower and clean up and all that type of thing. So we'll see how many miles we do tomorrow, but right now the total, I think I said 23, it was, I clearly cannot count, it's 21.3 is the total miles, which is my biggest mile day, well, our biggest mile day. But these trails have been lovely, so I definitely see how the Nobos were making their miles, because there hasn't been much elevation or technicality in it, and it's a beautiful day, so when it's nice out, it's way easier to make miles and have sugar in your body. Alright, let's get to the end. Okay, so this is my attempt, or my assistance to get over the barbed wire, is a series of steps and a pole that fairly stable. Okay, not that hard, but that's pretty rusty barbed wire, so glad I have my tetanus shots. Okay, I need to catch my tush on my shorts on that. Interesting contraption. So we're now out in the woods into a little farm field. Very pretty. Alright. Sun is warm. Okay, just stopped at a little impromptu trail stand, and they had like freezies and Gatorade, and you just threw in some money and pulled something out of the fridge, and so I had a freezie because I've been wanting one for a while, and it was a nice treat. Now we're back on trail. I think we got 2.2 miles left to go, and that'll be it for the day. Good morning. We're on day 66, and we are heading for, I think, a 19-mile day. So it starts off with a hill. Actually, didn't even look at the elevation today because there's really not that much elevation up here, but I mean, there's enough to go up for a fair bit. So that's what we're doing. The plan is to go, I think, roughly 19 miles. We're getting closer to a town called Sheffield. I think that's where we're gonna stay tonight. So a bunch of us are gonna stay in a hotel there. One of the family members, Doolittle, has a hotel there. I think that'll fit 5 of us. And it is supposed to rain today sometime. I don't know. I couldn't check the weather because I didn't get service. But I don't think it's till this afternoon. So hopefully we can get some good miles in the morning. It's a beautiful forest though. Lots of mosquitoes in this area. I think I've mentioned that before. Anyway, so that's the plan for the day. And I'm gonna turn this off because I got a lot more up. Nice easy grade though, so it should be a good trail. So this is the trail I'm running on this morning. It seems quite lovely actually, not too bad. Seeing only 3 salamanders in the first half hour. Unlike yesterday, which I stopped counting after 50 because there was just so many salamanders. Which I guess is good. It's for a nice healthy forest. But the sky does look pretty gray. So I'm not holding my breath for a dry day, but it's starting off dry, so that's good. I'm just going to show you this here. This is one of these little river pond crossings. But this is why Massachusetts has a mosquito problem, especially right now with all the excess rain, because there's just so much still water sitting around and mosquitoes are breeding like mad. And they are out in full force. I was not keen on putting bug spray on today, but I just couldn't help myself because they drive you nuts. And everyone's wearing bug nets because they drive you nuts. All right, just thought I'd share that with you. Trail is getting a little interesting. All right. Yep, more bog. Oh, starting to dry up. Nice. There's still water back there, but drying up is nice, at least until we get rain today. Oh well, the plants are happy. And the little cute pond. Hopefully a breeding ground for the frogs that eat all the mosquitoes, because you know it's breeding mosquitoes too. Met a couple of nobos today, very stylish. One with a salamander shirt and one with a pair of bright orange shorts. And I don't know if you noticed I was rocking the other day. Very good look. My snazzy shorts. I switched them out because the other ones were starting to get too baggy, which isn't a problem on the dry days, but when it rains, whew, it's a root. They drag right down. Not an attractive look and a little uncomfortable. So I had to send them away and get a spanking new pair, and already met one hiker with bright orange shorts, which will be great when I get into September hunting season, because, well, then you're gonna see me, or if I get lost. All things are possible. Anyway, moving on, we're about 5 miles in today, and still the sun kind of popped up, so maybe I'm hiking away from that rain cloud. Dare to dream. Dare to dream. Okay, so we're about 6 miles in today. Passed quite a few nobos now. And I'm just gonna do a little fashion sense. It's fashion talk here on the AT today. Because wow, today has been a plethora of style. I mentioned earlier the salamander shirt, which was actually very cool. The bright orange shorts, like myself, also, I think, very stylish. You get a lot of nobos, especially the men, who wear short sleeve shirts or don't wear their shirts at all. They leave them wide open in a variety of patterns and colors. The bolder the better, of course. The reason for leaving it wide open is because you're just going to sweat and it's going to get wet. So at least if it's open, you can dry. So I get that. You see a lot of women do that too. Just kind of hiking their sports bra and their shirt open if they've got one of the button-down town shirts, which is a brand of hiker shirt that's quite popular around here. Bugs. But today, and you definitely see all sorts of hats and bandanas on the head, and all the men have big furry beards. But understandable, I mean, nowhere to shave. But today I definitely saw the best outfit. A gentleman was wearing a mint green onesie. Not sure how that one works. And a hockey helmet. Well, bicycle helmet was kind of shiny. I don't know. I mean, to each his own. I've seen and have heard of other people wearing hockey helmets before. Because they fall and you definitely don't want to hit your head on this stuff. But it was the mint green onesie. Wow. Beautiful. But the fashion out here, whew, I've seen for women also wearing skirts, or I think only one dress I've seen. Mostly it's just shorts and short sleeves or tank tops. A lot less long sleeve sun shirts like the one I'm wearing. I mean, to be fair, most of the Nobos have come through some intense heat and humidity, and so perhaps they just can't tolerate it, whereas we've just not had that same level. Certainly humid today, and this shirt is soaked with sweat because it's what happens when you hike. You warm up and you stink. So we all officially count as hiker trash, but wow, the fashion on hiker trash mustn't be missed. Sadly, I don't take pictures of most hiker people because it's kind of rude and awkward, but damn, it is interesting. All right, I'll leave you on that note. Although one last note on that topic is most of the fashion sense is coming from the Nobos, and that's because they're getting it all in Damascus, which is a great hiker gear stores. I guess it's got quite, so we don't really have those options as Sobos, so we're less colorful, but maybe I'll do an update when I get to Damascus and check out some of those gear stores, because I gotta see where they're buying these fashions. I mean, you know, donut shorts, snail shorts, all sorts of fun stuff that I just haven't seen. All right, enough of the fashion sense of the AT. Moving on. Okay, this is my view this morning, so a little hazy. This is an area called the Ledges, and I guess Mount Warner's over there. And if that's the case, we went over that ridge. So that middle ridge in there, or maybe the one behind it, I'm not sure which one is supposed to be Mount Warner, but we did go over it. I'm gonna guess the middle one because it was only the other day. Anyway, this is what's called the Ledges. And the trail continues on down there. Because yeah, you don't really get many openings. And there she be. All right, let's go because the mosquitoes are fierce. There's a pond over there. I don't know if you can see it quite through the trees yet. Looks like some trail maintenance. Here's our pond. Very still that water is today. All right. Okay, just had another little bit of trail magic. Had some ginger snap cookies and some can of Coke. Let me tell you, I was never a pop drinker before, but when you get on the trail and you have pop or Gatorade available, you just, it's very tasty. So I met a couple of Nobos and a Sobo, and the lady who set up the trail magic just set up a little stand, and she sat for a few minutes and had to go. But it was very thoughtful, and we do love the trail magic. It definitely happens a lot more south than north, but that's because there's more people. So that was nice, and now we're gonna just continue on this trail, and hopefully the weather holds out. I'm having lunch at Tom Leonard Shelter, and it looks like there's a lot of stuff people leave here.
They got a cup. We got a rusty knife. Got some fire starter. We got 3 pairs of glasses. Damn.
Wow.
What else we got? Join me on the adventure. Next, we got some rope. Ooh, we got some mace.
Oh, mace.
It expired in 2005.
I don't think it's useful anymore.
Let's try it.
That's not.
No.
We had a couple of bunks, and then a whole other big section up there.
That's pretty cool, actually.
This is quite the shelter. No intentions on staying here, but it was a great place to stop for the bathroom and to have lunch and to reapply bug spray because they are vicious today.
Yeah, they really suck ass today.
This is our little view. It did start raining, and that was the extent of it. So now we're moving back in. Just to point out, Massachusetts, your trails have been great, but you have too many pointless up and downs, aka PUDs.
Buds.
I don't know why you do it, and then you do a little loop-de-loop. You're trying to keep us.
Really nice.
People are nice, but you're trying to keep us in the state by making us walk extra miles. Or your mosquitoes drain us of blood so we can't leave. If you're a nice state, I'd stay, but that's not the way to do it. Anyway, we're gonna get out of here. We're about 13 and a half miles in, and let's get out of here. I think we are out of the woods and into the cornfields. So we should have another 2-3 miles left to go. Our 19-ish mile day. And here are the cornfields.